Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world, welcome on in back again to the Sports Buffoon Studios here in Lenexa, Kansas, of course, once again. Hey, we got the full clan together for the first time in a month. I got Tanner Dawson to my right, Jason JG to my left. What's going on, Phyllis?
What up, what up?
It's good to have the moderator, the true moderator. Will you please stand up, Dad? Can you please stand up? We got the real moderator back.
I was a little busy 2 weeks ago. They sent my ass to St. Louis of all goddamn places and was trapped out there for a few days.
Sounds awful.
I did watch your show from afar, so I was proud of you guys. You guys did a good job, so I got to watch some of it from my hotel room. But I'm glad to be back with you. So it's nice to be able to catch up with you guys for a little bit. And God, I mean, some people say this is like a rough time in sports if you're a football only fan. But I think for Tanner's sake, this is his favorite time of the year.
It's a great time.
And Jason, I think you don't mind this time of year either. I think you guys are all happy about everything. So
I'm good. I mean, we got NFL free agency going on, so we got drama.
Sure. So we have some NFL things to talk about, of course.
Right? We got March Madness ramping up, getting ready for Selection Sunday this week. We got NBA with actually some drama in the rankings here and injuries that have happened.
We're getting closer to the playoffs in the NBA.
And of course, you got hockey just getting past the trade deadline, NHL. So now you're past that. Now you're really everybody's in full force mode for playoff time.
Spring training's going on. That's why I'm wearing the Royals hat today.
Going on. We're a week away from the first game of in the Tokyo series, Cubs and Dodgers.
This might be the best time of the year in terms of sports because you've got all those things going on that you just talked about. Meanwhile, nobody can stop talking about the NFL this time of year. So it's an amazing time of year.
They try to steal the show because every month of the year, it seems like there's something going on with the NFL. Next month, it'll be the draft. So, I mean, it's constantly something. So, I do want to say, Tanner, I want to congratulate you on KU. By the way, today in baseball, they hit 5 home runs in a row. So, officially, now your baseball team is better than your basketball team.
Ooh. Did you well, it's not hard.
That's a slight against you, man.
No. Did you not see KU won 3 games in a row with walk-offs?
But okay, so they won the 3 with walk-offs, and then just hit 5 bombs in a row against Minnesota.
They're a hitting team, man. They're a hitting team.
Final score 29-1.
I want to say something with Grand Slams were involved this last week as well. On top of that, so.
But that's a problem that you're paying attention to that instead of the basketball team.
I'm paying.
No, I'm telling you,
that's a multi-sport.
Baseball team is better than the basketball team.
Oh, it is. It definitely is.
Hey,
so
you can pay attention to more than one sport for a team, for a college.
I just wait till
they get good at something else every year.
I used to sit there when I was a big Mizzou fan, was like, oh, well, they're good wrestling at school, as if I gave a damn about wrestling at the time.
Well,
so
you guys
or you could talk to my brother Troy, who used to be on the KU bowling team back in the day.
You guys are acting like KU's like not making the
badminton
tournament this year. Like this is legit. How you guys are.
Well, is Norfolk State going to be there? Because I mean, I'm just saying
they won today.
I could say
they won today.
I could see something crazy happening.
That's fine, but are they going to make the tournament?
I don't know.
The answer is yes.
You should be worried. You should be worried. They might be
facing. Why would I be worried about making the tournament?
I'm saying KU doesn't look much better than MU did a few years ago.
That's fine.
If they end up being a six seed, that could be a problem because they won the national championship in 1988 as a 6 seed. So that could be a problem. But if they're like a 7, 8, or 9, then I'm not worried about it. Or if they're a 4 seed, then just write them off.
They shouldn't be anything higher than a 6. So,
all right, we'll get more into that later on, possibly. But man, to start things off with you guys, just to get this off my chest, the free agency period began this week. We had to dive into that for a few minutes at least. We've seen a lot of guys moving around and things shuffling around. I know for the Chiefs' sake, we got to see some guys move on to other places. One that kind of surprised me was Justin Reed, but it's probably why Nick Bolton got retained on that 3-year extension. And I do want to give big props to Tershawn Wharton for getting a 3-year deal for $45 million for the Carolina Panthers. And well-deserved for him for the way he can do as a pass-rushing D-tackle. I mean, to see him grow from what he did, beginning out here in Missouri, as a matter of fact, going to school. Not at MU, but he was going to that whatever small – what was it? What were they called? It was – what are they called?
I don't remember what it was.
Don't make me have to do this right now. Now I gotta some state
Oh.
something or other. Missouri Science and Technical.
There it is.
Was his school, Missouri Science and Tech. Anyways, seeing him as a Chief grow from where he began, and then each year getting better and better. He had 1 year he missed with an injury, but then last year at 8.5 sacks. Going to Carolina, he's going to be missed for sure. But the Chiefs also got to add Jalen Moore to be the left tackle, the potential future on this team. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. So what do you guys think? Is there something to the pipeline it seems like we have between the 49ers and the Chiefs? Like every year
49ers,
for the last 25, 30
Chiefs,
years.
Saints.
Sure. Well, that's a thing. Like Chiefs,
Yeah.
Saints is a thing. But for the last 35 years, 40 years maybe, the Chiefs and 49ers have had like this weird constant pipeline of players coming from San Francisco to Kansas City for whatever
Joe
reason.
Montana.
Well, lots of them. I mean, we had Elvis Gerback, Joe Montana, Steve Bono.
They just,
I mean,
they love the red jerseys.
Alex
man.
Smith.
They love
I mean,
the red and white.
It's like we can go on forever with this, but it's just constantly players from San Francisco coming over to Kansas City.
I think when you have two teams like that who have won a lot of Super Bowls, you're always going to have that mutual respect, and you're going to want to be willing to deal. If you're the 49ers and the Chiefs, you want to be able to do deals with each other because you have a lot of rings going back through the years. And even up to right now, the Chiefs are like, we have a lot of rings, but, the 49ers also back in the day have a lot of rings. So you have that mutual respect, and you want to be able to do deals with elite teams who have been able to win over the years, whether it's sooner or, way back in the day.
The other one we got from San Francisco is Elijah Mitchell, running back. Who's a guy I've personally, the times he's been on the field, and me as
Times he's been on the field.
I know, I have to put that out there. He's been a good player. I mean, he's fast, he's quick. I mean, he ran a 4.35 at his pro day. But I've watched him in the past, and when he's healthy, the guy can be pretty productive. So obviously he would be a change of pace back from what Isaiah Pacheco is. But I hope the Chiefs are not considering themselves to be content with that.
Or not banking on it.
I hope that there's something else they have in the works, especially with this draft coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing.
I mean, that's a boomer bust type thing with guys like Elijah Mitchell. I mean, if they stay healthy, they might be a boom. If they don't, then they're a bust. So, but I like the fact that the Chiefs are willing to take risks.
They needed some speed at the running back position anyway. I mean, Kareem Hunt, for all the good he did for the Chiefs this past year, still averaged 3.6 yards per carry. And towards the back half of the year, before the playoffs, before he had that rest, was really, really winding down to where he wasn't going anywhere. Luckily, he did have that rest, had a couple of weeks off, right, to get ready for playoffs. Looked a little better right away, but still, at this point, Kareem Hunt was never a fast running back to begin with. Like, he ran like a 4.7 to begin with.
Correct.
And so it's like at this point in his career,
he's
being
the guy who runs up the middle.
30 years old, he's probably a 4.9, if we're lucky. So but in this league with these fast linebackers and everything, we got to have guys that are a little quicker than that. I mean, you can't get by anymore being a slow ass anymore on the field. So I was happy, by the way. This guy, to me, can be a Chief for as long as he wants. And it's James Winchester, the long snapper who is 35 years old. Man, the guy doesn't really make mistakes. Like, the guy is automatic. I mean, his snaps are terrific. He's been a part of this team since that 2013 Andy Reid came over with Kelsey and everybody, at that time. Like, that was his original year with the Chiefs. And to me, I know you guys might like roll your eyes, like, always talk about a long snapper. No, this stuff matters.
2015.
2015 is when he came along?
Yeah.
All right, well, this stuff matters, though, with long snappers and having a quality one you can rely on and not have to worry about whether the guy's going to screw it up or snap it over someone's head or not. He's never been that kind of guy. I think maybe we saw one last year that had to get caught that was a little high, and our punter snagged it like a wide receiver. But otherwise, I'm glad to see Winchester back, and he can stick around for another few years if he wants to.
I mean, we all know the importance of all three phases. We saw it from the Chiefs this year in all three phases. Don't discount a guy just because he's a long snapper. That's a very important position. And like we've seen also in the NFL in many years, a simple guy like that can go a long way for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Another guy that I found interesting that we signed here, cornerback Christian Fulton from the Chargers. He is 26 years old. He was, if your fun fact of the day, you guys, Tanner might know this, but he was the player who intercepted the pass against Patrick Mahomes this past year that Mahomes ended up injuring Rashee Rice on that play, tearing that ACL.
Yep.
This was the corner that picked off Mahomes. So maybe this was the Chiefs' way of coming full circle with it or something. I don't know, but hopefully that could pan out as well. But no, I think cornerback's a great way to go. And I know that they did do a tender on Najee Johnson as of today, but I think that cornerback's something you can never have too much of it. You can never have too many good corners in this league that can match up with some of the talent that we have, and especially certain kind of strategic size matchups, we run into.
Correct.
So I'll take another body like Christian Fulton. So I like that. And are you guys surprised at all about DeAndre Hopkins going to the Ravens? I mean, that wasn't surprising.
He
at all
was
to me.
going somewhere.
Well, he wants to play for a contender still.
Correct.
Going to Baltimore now.
I'm actually more surprised he didn't go to Buffalo.
I don't know.
Let's be real.
Maybe Buffalo watched him play the last few games and was not impressed like we were.
I think he's washed, man. He's washed. I mean, we were expecting him to do good things in the playoffs, and then it just never happened for whatever reason. But
rough.
I mean, that's almost like he wasted the year, and now he's 1 year older, going to the Ravens, and I think he's washed.
What I'll never get about DeAndre Hopkins, one of my favorite receivers of the past 10 years, is that he went from having the best hands in the league statistically, like on a year-to-year basis, to then coming to the Chiefs, and it's like all of a sudden, like just dropping passes that should be right there on the money. I mean, I remember one earlier in the regular season that was just hit him right in the chest.
Yeah,
and it's like, what is wrong with you? And then just some of the plays that went on, I was like, this why is Hopkins not involved in the game? And there was something missing, and it's like, man, how does this guy have 1,000 yards with the Titans like a year ago? Come to the Chiefs and all of a sudden can't play receiver anymore. Like I'll never understand what happened here in KC, but he was not the same player.
I think a part of it is just mental fatigue. When you look at his career, playing with Houston and Deshaun Watson, as a young player, building that chemistry with Deshaun Watson, then moving around to a bunch of different teams,
Kyler Murray,
being okay with Tennessee and Arizona, blah, blah, blah. At some point, you get to a point in your career where you would like to have a little bit of continuity, but you're also getting older, and you can't you're not as good as you used to be, and that's not something that you want to do as an older player. You don't want to be bouncing around from team to team because you're not the same player that you used to be, and so I think for him, he just needed some continuity at this point in his career, and he's not going to get it, obviously.
No, isn't it amazing?
You're going an offense with Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, already established receivers there. Now you're in the
and you have no chemistry whatsoever.
Doesn't it make
you've just been bouncing around?
You
from
guys
team to team.
Truly respect what Jerry Rice did though. At his level for so long.
Absolutely.
Into his 40s.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Absolutely.
Of course, Larry, what he did was amazing.
In an era where they wanted to run the ball all day long.
Jerry Rice was still a really, really good receiver at 40 years old, which is nuts compared to what we're seeing now. Hopkins is 32.
I think
that's crazy.
I would like to think that Jerry Rice, if they could bring him to this era in his prime, would be a lot of the things that they talk about. Michael Jordan, if you bring Jordan to this era, he would average 45 points per game, 40 to 45 points a game. I think Jerry Rice would be just something like just a ridiculous wide receiver.
Only reason I would maybe debate that with you is because the defenders now are so much freaking faster than they were in the 80s and 90s. And Jerry Rice was a guy who ran a 4.6. I'm just saying athletically, the guys in today's league are just nuts. Like linebackers are doing stuff that safeties wish they could have done in the night. Linebackers now are running a 4.4, and back in the 80s and 90s, they're running a 5.5 flat.
And MJ said it best. In his era, he can dominate.
Well, and that's in
the past, it was other players.
In MJ's era, MJ was the absolute GOAT.
But in MJ,
in the current era of the NBA, I mean, with the physical specimen we currently have to work with, LeBron of this era is the GOAT of this era. That's without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I see what you're saying there, because in the NFL, the defense actually got better, whereas
Yes.
in the NBA, the defense went to shit, which is why Jordan would probably average 45.
That's true. The defense did go to shit.
Defense went to shit
It's
because they're not
still
allowed
a
to play
different era,
defense.
man.
The
Different
defense.
Oh
eras.
yeah, I'm sure it is, Tanner.
He can
Yeah,
tell
I'm
it.
sure is.
He tells it himself. He says it in an interview himself.
Defenses in this
MJ
current
himself.
age are the athletes are just out of control. Like defensive ends are running wide receiver numbers, like at the combines. And stuff.
Yes,
I mean it's really nuts. Stuff you would have never seen. You know,
it's a different
in the
world.
1980s.
And that's true, but in the NBA, nobody gives a shit about defense.
but that's why like Lawrence Taylor was so incredible. You know, during his time, not that he wouldn't fit in now. He would fit in great now. Still,
they would
guys
call.
Lawrence
He
Taylor.
would just have
But
more flags. They'd
he
call
was-
a lot more flags.
He was
on
before
his
his time, essentially.
Yeah, he
You know,
was.
that's what, and
Yeah.
Bo Jackson put him in that mix.
Yeah.
You know, he was before his time athletically. He would have fit in great in today's age, but because he was such a dominant force as an athlete back then, you know, he could just beat
Yeah,
you with his physical tools.
But if you're gonna bring those guys over, then you're talking. Now you're gonna bring them to current mentality. How everything else has gone today with athletes. Like
I feel like Rice.
it'll be
mentality.
interesting.
I feel like Rice would have been.
they wouldn't be
mean-
the same player
you mean
we
the-
saw in
the
'98.
pussification of America.
Exactly.
I feel like Rice would have been really good at like drawing flags, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like he would have
absolutely.
destroyed the defensive backs on just drawing
Yeah.
flags.
Well, he was a very smart player, so
Yeah.
he would have found ways to, for sure, make that happen. So, anyways, you guys. So looking over kind of what we're currently looking at with the state of free agency. Has anything stood out to you guys at this point? Whether it's not just the Chiefs, but any team for this matter. What has been your initial first 3 days reaction of free agency for the NFL?
Denver Broncos. Hey,
They're making some moves.
Hey.
Making some moves.
went out, spent some money, got locked up some guys.
Yeah.
They look good. By the way, Mac Jones just signed with the Niners.
He sucks ass.
2-year deal.
Mac
2-year
Jones,
deal.
Tanner. Mac Jones sucks ass.
I'm just telling you, who the Niners wanted all along. Apparently, just
They
signed with-
wanted Mac
in
Jones.
2021 NFL draft.
Oh my
Instead,
God.
they went
That's
the
great.
other way. So
So you're like what, Kyle Shanahan or something? Is that what this is all
Correct.
about?
correct.
Or he wanted
That's
Mac
why.
Jones.
That's why it's a 2-year deal.
Dude.
2-year deal.
Oh my God. I can't even tell you guys how much he sucks ass.
He's bad.
It's
But Shanahan, hey, Shanahan's a QB whisperer. Blah blah blah. So, but
no, Brock Purdy's a pretty good quarterback as he is.
Yeah.
There's nothing really wrong with him. I'm telling you right now, Mac Jones could never do what Brock Purdy does.
No, not at all. But no, I think the moves the Broncos have made this last few days is it's impressive. It's impressive, and
Yeah.
they've really solidified some spots.
They're trying to give the Chiefs a run for their money without a doubt in this division and I get it. I mean, Sean Payton's probably not the most patient guy in the world at this point in his career. But some of the additions are looking pretty. They added Greenlaw to the team.
Yeah,
Another 49er right there. Let's see,
Ingram being added.
Trent Sherfield. Yeah, Evan Ingram was a good addition without a doubt. So I do like some of those, but I'm always worried about their draft. Lately, they've been a little better in the draft. So
Right. So I'm just saying, like, just from an early standpoint, like the moves that Broncos have made have been good.
I like what the Steelers did in bringing in DK Metcalf. That might be a play for
I think it's a great play for
a
Pickens.
possible quarterback that I won't mention his name, but we might be talking about him a little bit later.
That
That
was
they
a great
could bring
move for
him to
Pickens.
pair.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah.
Granted, 2 head cases now at the wide receiver rings. But
Well, I mean, when you're the Steelers, you got to make some sort of a splash. You've got an elite coach. You got to make some kind of moves to bring in some weapons in there.
yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. The current free agent wide receiver situation is to me intriguing. These are all guys in their 30s, just kind of hanging out there, waiting to see what the best offer is all this comes down to. But you got Cooper Kupp, who just got released, who's 31 and a half. You got Stephon Diggs, who just turned 31 recently.
coming off injury.
Keenan Allen's almost 33. Amari Cooper's 30. And Brandon Cooks is 31. Any of those guys stand out as potential options you think the Chiefs could ever be interested in here?
God, how much as I would love Cup, I think it'd be too pricey.
Probably.
But a
'cause
Brandon Cooks would be my second.
Cooks, you know what's crazy? He's only 31. He's been in this league forever. I mean,
But
Cooks
he's bounced around
Cooks
so many
came-
teams. And
I think Cooks, whenever he was drafted, might have been 19 years old or something like that.
Yep.
That's why he's only 31 right now. It's nuts to think
I wouldn't
about.
want any of those guys on the Chiefs, but if I'm just like a guy if I'm a random team out there looking for a wide receiver, I think I agree with you. Cooks is the guy I would go after because, yeah, you're looking at their age, but you're also looking at the mileage. And do these guys take care of their bodies? And I don't feel like Cooks has a whole lot of mileage on his body. If I'm looking at a guy like Cooper Kupp,
the guy's been playing for 12 years.
I mean, he used to be like
He's 31.
a PPR phenom
But in terms
for a
of
while.
a-
Yeah, like
the
he
Saints,
thousand.
with the Saints early on, he was
yeah,
getting the
I'm
workload.
comparing him to a guy like Cooper Kupp, where they just force fed the guy, and he's just got all these injuries and all this mileage. Like, I guess if I'm taking one guy against another, I would take Cooks over Cooper Kupp.
Let me put it this way: the current estimated value for both of those guys, Cooper Kupp's estimated value is about $11 million per year. So you could sign him for, let's say, a 2-year deal for $22 million, or the estimated value for Brandon Cooks right now is about $5.5 million per year. So you could get him possibly for 1 year, $5.5 million or something like that. So, I mean, either way, I think that's.
I think with
an
Kupp,
option.
for Kupp, there's just way too many injuries, man.
Cup. Well, that's as of recent, right? That's since 2022. He's had injuries, but we're talking, a guy that's had games started 89 for Cup here since 2017, and then we have Brandon Cooks here. Games started
A lot.
144 since 2014 when he was 21.
I would say Amari Cooper too, in terms of mileage.
Uh,
I just feel like he doesn't have a lot of mileage on him
Well,
because
Brandon Cook has 11 years on him. He already has over 1,000 targets in his career. He's 500 yards short of 10,000 yards in his career.
Right.
It's amazing.
I know for me, I'd be happy with either one of those guys, honestly, between Kupp or Cooks. But I will say, guys, remember that the Chiefs had interest in Cooper Kupp last year before DeAndre Hopkins came along. Kupp was a guy that we were negotiating with the Rams right at that point about possibly making a trade. Ended up falling through, and then ended up getting DeAndre Hopkins in the end. But it's like now he's a free agent. You don't got to give up picks or anything. So I don't know. I think it's potentially there on the table for it to happen.
I almost want to do it just because he wouldn't be expected to do that much,
No, he'd be a reliable, third down kind of guy. Like, basically, it's third down. We rely on you to just get open, find the soft spot in the zone or whatever it may be, and make that play. And that's what it would come down to for Cooper Kupp at this point. And he's a great route runner. His route running, actually, funny enough, reminds me a lot of Travis Kelce. If the way that they move within their routes is very similar. So maybe that's something the Chiefs find appealing. But I don't know. I just know right now, going into this coming season, we're going to assume that Rashee Rice suspension's on the way. Xavier Worthy looks terrific. I mean, he played phenomenal this past season, and there's no reason for him to get suspended right now either.
Nope.
So
Do we need to get into that topic right now before we move on?
maybe it's something we should talk about, actually.
Because you just brought up Rashee Rice, who allegedly did something but probably did nothing. And then you followed that up by a guy like Xavier Worthy, who definitively did nothing.
Right.
So it's just like...
I'm just saying, we're going to have one suspension beginning of the year. You don't want to leave Xavier Worthy by himself.
No.
I mean, and Hollywood Brown's going to be there, of
Hollywood
course.
Brown's back.
But
Ooh, I love that.
But then again, we saw Hollywood Brown get injured.
But do we
right
need
away.
another receiver like that? Like, we don't need a Cooks
Justin-
or a Cup or
Hey,
anybody
Justin
else.
Watson's gone.
Yeah. So,
You
we don't need...
But
what do
are
you-
you gonna
what do you wanna work
draft?
with?
Do you
want to draft?
You know who we're getting. You know who we're going to be forced with this year again. You guys already know. I don't have to tell you this of who we're forced with as our number 4.
Nah, I don't want to deal with that. No,
Yes.
we're not doing that.
Yeah,
No,
it is.
Sky Moore.
That's stupid.
We're stuck with
No,
him.
that's
We're
stupid.
stuck with him.
You're not talking about
We-
Sky Moore, are you?
We're
We
stuck
already
with him.
saw Tanner.
No,
we already
Andy
saw,
Reid already says he's staying, man.
Nico Remigio already outplayed him in a short amount of time
I'm telling you.
as a player on this team.
Sky Moore.
There's no reason for Sky Moore
They're
to be
going
on
to
this
involve
roster.
Sky Moore back in this freaking offense,
That's stupid.
and we're going to have to deal with him.
No, that makes no sense at all to keep a turd like that
It
around.
doesn't.
He should be playing in the XFL whenever that thing eventually comes back around.
Hey, the what is it? The UFL that starts, I think, next week.
I don't know.
So.
Just not this league is all I could tell you. I mean, he can go play minor league baseball or something. I don't care. But
What'd you guys think of that whole Xavier Worthy saga that played out over the course of a few days?
well,
And everybody thought it was a big deal.
I woke up Saturday morning pretty mad actually. Like I remember being very irritated as soon as I woke up,
Oh, I was
and
too. Yeah.
I was just like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Like this
Another
happened
chief
again?"
in the news.
And
Yeah.
like, I wanted to wait for the details to come out at the same time. I'm like, dude, can people just not behave? Like, what is so difficult about, and as an NFL athlete, just keeping your nose clean, staying away from the wrong people, and just staying out of trouble. And of course, the actual information came out like 2 days later or whatever it was. And I honestly feel terrible for Xavier Worthy for what we now know of the details of that situation. I think you got to be careful with who you choose in your life, as a companion. So
I would say it's very easy for all of us to say, keep your nose clean. But the bottom line for me is he chose the wrong woman.
right.
And it's very difficult to police that, especially if you're a famous person like Xavier Worthy. And honestly, like most of us guys, we've all been in that situation. We've chose the wrong woman, but it's different for us because we don't have like millions and millions of dollars so the chick can screw us over.
Right.
Like they screw us over, it's just like, oh, ha, 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 okay, get out of here, let's move the hell on. But with him, it's kind of a bigger deal, and I hope for Xavier Worthy that he finds a better woman because at the end of the day, I think us as men, we're all trying to find the best fit. It's just like we always talk about NFL, NBA. We want to find the players that are the best fit for our team. It's the same thing in life, man. You want to find the best woman that is the best fit for your personal life, and I hope that for Xavier Worthy because obviously that's not what he found in this particular go-around, and it was a bad situation for him, and I'm with you. I feel bad for the guy, and it's, again, at the end of the day, it's very difficult when you're making all of that money to find the right woman that can stick with you through thick and through thin and not try to screw you over. So,
And I think he had just gotten engaged about a year ago.
Yeah.
It's not often you see guys 21 years old, being engaged at that point, knowing you're going to the NFL as a first-round draft pick, knowing you're going to have a pick of whatever you want once you're in the league, literally handed to you every night if you want. But, he chose to say, I want you to be my wife, essentially, and this is what she did to him. So at the end of the day, it's just a nasty situation, and I do feel bad for some of the. It's funny, like on Twitter, there's a lot of mugshot got put out of Xavier Worthy and all that, and all the people making fun of it, right?
Bunch of tough guys.
But now that the real information came out, all those same people have now not said a damn word about it, and they're not going to remember that either. They're not going to remember what really happened. 5 months from now, we're going to hear about it. We're going to hear, "Didn't you choke a woman?" or something, some bullshit like that from some idiot on Twitter.
Hey, doesn't fit their agenda.
And the shitty part is just like everybody's coming after him. Everybody, when the story first came out, everybody's always going to go after a guy like Xavier Worthy, right? Because they think, oh, you're an NFL player, you can do whatever you want, you can get away with anything, not get charged with a crime. But at the end of the day, like, it's just he was in a bad situation. And as a male in this society, he's always going to get blamed first. And that's a sad situation. That's what I'm saying. I hope for the best for him, but me personally, I would not want to be in his shoes. And, for all of us people that admire all these athletes and stuff, try to walk a mile in their shoes. It's very difficult. It's not easy when you have all of this money sitting out there and all of these women coming at you at the same time, and you're just trying to choose the right one, make the best decision for your life, and it's very difficult to do. And so I admire the guy. Obviously, Mike, you and I, we've played cards with him before, and we admire him. But I don't want to be in that situation where it's just like, okay, how do I decide which woman is authentic and which one is going to try to screw me over? Yeah. And that's a very difficult decision to be in.
Yeah, speaking of the cards, man, I just hope that when he comes back to KC to hang out for a while that he goes to the right casinos so we can meet him again and hang out and play cards with him again.
Yeah, that's another whole story right there.
We call him Mr. Baccarat for a reason, So, so we wish the best for him, both at the tables and figuring out his relationship future as well. So, I could say more nasty words, but I'm not going to today.
We like to be respectful on this
I'm going to try to be respectful of this show. I don't want we'll hold it together here, guys. All right. Before we move on to the next thing, I do have to ask you guys. It's the hot topic. Put it on your favorite media platform on TV right now, and we all want to know, what's Aaron Rodgers going to do, Tanner? What's Aaron Rodgers going to do? Is Aaron Rodgers going to follow in the footsteps of Brett Favre?
No.
Is he going to go from
It's JJ's time there.
one Super Bowl with the Packers, whole great Hall of Fame career, go to the Jets and screw around, and then go to Minnesota to finish out your career?
No.
Where's he going to go? The Giants? Because that's who else wants him.
Well, I think you're probably between the Giants and the Steelers right now.
That's what I keep hearing. I mean, honestly, the Steelers would be a fine situation. Makes sense. You have DK Metcalf, and Pickens is still there at the moment. I mean,
if Big Ben doesn't make his return like he was talking about, then yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Aaron Rodgers and George Pickens are not going to get along.
No, they are not.
Like, that's not going to end well.
DK's not going to end well either.
DK's okay.
DK's a madhouse.
No, but he's not like George Pickens.
Let's be real. No, but it's going to be better for George Pickens, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know what goes for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what else lies out there for Aaron Rodgers in the end.
Well, I think those are the three options.
It's not Minnesota.
First of all, Tanner,
it's not Minnesota.
The Giants don't make sense because they're not going to win anything.
Correct.
So at this point, why not Minnesota?
Because it's JJ's time. Have you not heard anything? Like that's the whole reason why they moved on.
Dude, Rodgers had to wait 3 years. You think JJ can't wait 2 more?
No, it's JJ's year.
No.
They're moving him into
Who
the
says
starter
it's
role.
his year? No.
That's what the whole plan was. That's why they brought Sam Darnold and they shipped him out.
They also thought it was Aaron Rodgers' year, and Brett Favre said, fuck no.
Look, that's fine. But also, when Minnesota's 0-8, you're going to be looking for another quarterback.
Minnesota 0-8?
Minnesota has some good defensive pieces, but I don't believe in JJ.
I actually like the thought behind sending him to Minnesota because
there is no thought. It's JJ McCarthy's team, guys.
No.
Yes,
no.
it
He's
is.
never done a damn thing for that team, so he doesn't
because he was injured.
No,
That's what I mean. It's irrelevant.
No, that's what he sat his year.
He needs to sit another year.
Here's why I like Minnesota is because they have a good offensive coach, and Aaron Rodgers was the guy who had to sit for years behind Brett Favre.
This isn't the same situation,
he's the guy.
guys.
He's the guy.
This is not
Rodgers had to sit for 3 goddamn years.
It doesn't matter.
Let's go ahead and make JJ McCarthy the next Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
But he's got to sit.
Let him sit a little longer.
He's got to sit.
What's one
But
more
this
year?
guy over here, he doesn't believe in that
straight
stuff.
from Schefter himself. Minnesota is ready to roll with JJ McCarthy.
That's nonsense.
This was 4 hours
Absolutely
ago.
nonsense. Tanner, that's negotiating
I
tactics.
have-
It's negotiating
That's a smoke
tactics.
Schefter again.
That's a smoke
Schefter
screen.
again. 4 hours ago. I have no reason to put Minnesota in the Aaron Rodgers
You
conversation.
know who's putting that
that's a
out there?
smoke screen.
You know who's putting
The
that out there?
Vikings.
The
Let's
Vikings.
look
The
at it.
Vikings are
The
putting
Vikings
it
are
out
putting
there.
that out there.
Oh, here's a
They
fan.
literally will tell Adam Schefter that he sucks. He's washed. He's a washed quarterback.
Yes.
He sucks. They will literally tell him that because they want him to come there
And then
and set the stage for JJ
not-
McCarthy. He wants to be.
He's
He
not
wants Aaron
going,
Rodgers.
guys. He's not going.
He wants Aaron Rodgers to be the Brett Favre
dumbest
to Aaron
take.
Rodgers to be the Aaron Rodgers to JJ McCarthy.
These
It's so
reports are
freaking
nonsense.
obvious.
Those
dude.
reports are
It's
horseshit.
so freaking obvious.
Horseshit reports. It doesn't matter. Those reports are nonsense.
Now,
Literally,
I mean, it'd
negotiating
be
tactics,
funny
all it
for
is.
Minnesota,
I'm just saying in
but
terms
it's not
of the
going to
odds,
happen.
If I was a betting man, which sometimes I am, I guess, I would bet Minnesota because it's plus 500.
Go for it.
Plus 500.
Well, I'm telling you right now.
But
Don't
Pittsburgh
bet
is
a
the
lot,
worst
though.
place for Rodgers to go in the end because he's not going to go along with Tomlin. Not
Oh,
gonna-
you don't think he gets along
They're
with Tomlin?
best buddies,
No. Oh,
man.
not gonna get along with
I
Tomlin.
think he
What are you
respects
talking
Tomlin.
about? It's Arthur
Not gonna-
Smith that
I
be the
think
issue.
he
not
has-
gonna get along with Pickens either. But
I think he has a tremendous amount of respect for Mike
He-
Tomlin.
him and
because
Tomlin love each
everybody
other.
in the league.
You can see
Everybody-
it on the field when they play.
Tell me
each
one
other.
person that does not respect Mike Tomlin.
well, I'm not
nobody.
saying he doesn't respect Mike Tomlin. I'm just saying when Rodgers' ego comes out as a narcissist, it's not going to come out in a good way. Like it's gonna be ugly. And I'm saying he is a narcissist, so I know how that thing goes.
Ooh.
It's
So-
not going to end well between those two people.
So you want to send him to Minnesota?
No,
or-
I think
More of a pushover coach. A
I
pushover.
think Mike
That's
Tomlin.
what I'm talking about.
I think Mike
Jeez.
Tomlin can reel in the narcissism.
But
did
Tomlin
he
is
not?
not a pushover.
Did he not reel in the narcissism with Antonio Brown all those years? I think that was the same situation. He found
Well,
a
he
way
did
to
his
reel
best.
it in.
He did his best.
You guys are
Oh,
really
he did
just-
his best.
Brown
He
was
was
a-
Antonio
really
Brown was
wanted
a
the Rodgers.
superstar.
He also wasn't calling the plays.
He was a superstar.
He wasn't calling the plays.
I think Mike Tomlin can reel him in, and I think they should be the betting favorite, and I think Minnesota should actually be second.
Minnesota's off
Well,
the board.
the
No,
Giants
they're
are-
not,
guys.
Tanner.
The
Plain
Giants
simple.
are off the board.
The Giants.
Giants are
The
off
Giants
the
They're
would be
off
on
the
the
board.
board. Why
No.
would the Giants be off the
because
board?
they're not winning shit.
It-
Why
no,
would Rodgers
doesn't
waste
matter.
more
Gotta-
time in New York?
you've got
Because
to
he thinks
coach.
he can win with them.
No, he doesn't.
When you look at the Giants, you got a coach in Brian Daboll who likes to fix quarterbacks like Josh Allen. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to be fixed. He's a freaking 4-time MVP. Nobody's going to fix him. That's a bad matchup right there.
Doesn't make any sense. Rodgers wants to go to a team that's already complete, that
Yes.
has talent,
Yes.
that could win some freaking games.
Send him to the Vikings or send him to the Steelers. Honestly, like if I'm making the bet, I'm going for the Vikings because it's plus 500. Right?
I mean,
That's the best odds.
let's be real. You would rather have Aaron Rodgers than J.J. McCarthy. Yes. But Minnesota didn't trade up to go draft J.J.
Dude,
McCarthy
it's one.
and
Just
not
get
start
him in
the guy
there.
in year 2.
Sign him
Doesn't
to a
matter.
2-year contract.
2
and then
years?
Play him for 1 year.
Right.
Play for 1 year. J.J. McCarthy is going to sit
And-
behind him.
And then if they go 13-4, you keep Rodgers that next year.
But you're listening to a guy over here who does not believe in Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith. He doesn't believe in.
No, what are you talking
He
about?
doesn't believe. He does
This
not.
is a total different debate.
No, it's not. It's the
This
same
is
exact
that's
thing.
a different debate.
Same guy-
You just turned this into a quarterback
guy-
sitting debate.
same guy-
Not where is Aaron Rodgers going.
Same guy right here does not believe in
You're
Michael Penix sitting behind
ridiculous.
Kirk Cousins. Doesn't
That's
believe
true.
in that shit.
He thought that was stupid.
Yeah, he thinks it's stupid.
It still is.
Doesn't believe in
He
Aaron
didn't
Rodgers.
set a full season behind him, did he?
So you think that Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Brett Favre was a royal disaster, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't know where you're getting this.
You need experience.
I don't know where we're going. Why are
You
we going
need
to that?
J.J. McCarthy.
That's
who-
not the plan. in
J.J.
Minnesota.
McCarthy, who injured his cock last
If-
year,
if Minnesota-
doesn't have a clue about the NFL right now.
If
he
Minnesota-
needs some guidance right now.
If Minnesota
Guidance!
wanted to go that route, they would have franchise tagged Sam Darnold, and he would have started.
I
He
so
won
want to beat
he
this
won
table
you
right now, but I'm not
14
going to do
games
it because your
last year.
microphones are so shitty as a producer that I know I'll destroy it.
He's really good. You would
But
have
if I would,
signed
if I could,
Sam
I would beat this damn
Darnold
table right now.
because you won 14 games with him. There's no reason why you move on from Sam Darnold,
J.J. McCarthy.
spend more money for Aaron Rodgers, and not start your which would be your rookie quarterback.
Mark my words, if you throw him in there right now, J.J. McCarthy is trash.
I know
And his career is
I'm not
done.
lying about that.
Done, ruined.
I'm
But
not
if
saying
you
it's
bring
the right move.
If you bring in Aaron Rodgers,
No,
he's got
no,
a
no, no.
chance.
Stop. Time out.
He's
Stop.
got a
Stop.
chance.
Time
1
out.
year.
Come on, let's reset here.
He's
Let's
got a
reset here.
chance.
I think you guys are taking the fact that I'm saying J.J. McCarthy is the right move to do. I'm saying J.J. McCarthy is the move the Vikings are going to
No,
do.
that's
are
what
you
you're
talking
hearing.
about, Tanner?
We're telling you that this is being fed by the Vikings. This is a negotiating
No.
tactic by the Vikings to put out this news out there that show
Yes.
disinterest in Aaron
Yes.
Rodgers.
And if I were in the front office of the Vikings, I would say, "Oh my goodness, that guy is washed.
Right.
He's a washed piece of
He
shit."
sucks.
And then I would bring him in.
Like, hey,
You know,
what do you,
Hey,
what do you
man,
got?
We
Oh,
made
you're
a
inter-
mistake.
we heard you're interested.
We made a mistake. Now we think you're great.
we heard you'd like to come here, so go ahead and pitch yourself.
Would laugh. I would laugh so hard, of course. If
Okay.
I want
Make
Aaron
the
Rodgers.
bet.
So-
It's only plus
how
500.
about, how about 1 year, $25 million, Aaron? How about that? Does that sound good
Jesus,
to you?
man.
I mean, that's
I'd
what-
rather
offer
you
him.
guys-
Offer
You're
him
still
some,
gonna sign freaking Jordan
Dude,
Addison
his-
back.
Last year he was paid $37.5 million. Give him $25 million
Give him
offer.
2 years.
Lowball that bastard.
I'll give
Lowball.
him 2 years. Who gives a shit?
Lowball that fucker.
I'll give him 2 years, $70 million. Fuck it. 2 years,
So
$70
dumb.
million.
So
Fuck it.
dumb.
Well, I'm telling you right now, they might as well sign Big Ben back to the Steelers because
Look,
that doesn't make any sense. To me.
it's the right move to sign Rodgers. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, but they want to.
The
So
Vikings.
They
Need
don't
to.
want to. They're not doing it.
They don't want to. They need to.
They need to go
They
pay.
need.
Yeah, Jordan Addison's on his final year. You got to go pay that guy.
What are you going to win? How many Super Bowls are you going to win with Jordan Addison as the leader
If
of
you-
your team?
No, he's not the leader. What are you
No,
talking
he's not
about?
the lead.
So don't pay
JJ's
him.
there, man.
Don't pay him.
You gotta.
You got wide
That
receivers
is
coming out of the
different.
woodworks in the
Well,
draft.
You got. I think
You got wide receivers coming out of the woodworks in the draft. Who gives
Jefferson
a
and
shit?
Addison are a good combo.
Let's be real. Like, I'd rather take Jordan Addison than
Yeah,
half
with
over half.
nobody to throw him the ball.
I'm not saying that's
With
the right
nobody to
idea.
throw him the
Well,
ball.
I'm saying that's what's going to happen. I'm not saying it's the right idea. Stop taking it that
Alright.
way. You're taking it
All
like
right.
my idea is to not sign Aaron Rodgers.
So who do you want then to start as the starter?
If I'm
for
a
the
Vikings
Vikings this
fan,
year?
I want Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you.
He's
But
saying Adam Schefter said it's not going to be Rodgers.
but it's
That's what he-
but it's not going to be Rodgers.
So we literally
he believes the news.
we just convinced him that Aaron Rodgers should be the
This reminds me of COVID.
starting quarterback.
They said he should wear a goddamn mask.
Why do we do this stuff?
People on the news.
You turn the conversation around. Where it
People on the
shouldn't be.
news told you to wear a goddamn mask, Tanner. You're gonna wear that goddamn mask.
Well, to be fair, if they cough on you or if they sneeze on you, you probably should have been wearing a mask.
You guys are.
To be fair, like I'm just throwing
You
that
guys,
out there.
you guys changed
Hey,
the topic on me.
I'm not
right
a
in the middle of the
scientist.
whole thing.
Hey, I am not a
we
scientist.
changed the entire question. Right in the middle of the whole.
Would you
thing.
be quiet?
It's ridiculous.
I'm not a scientist, but to be fair, if somebody sneezes or coughs on you, you probably should be wearing a mask. I'm just throwing that out there, you know?
If the news tells me to do so, I will.
Unless you're anti-science person. Don't be anti-science, Tanner.
All right. All right.
I don't like these.
We're
all of
just
these
gonna say
anti-science
all of us
people.
one word, and then we're gonna move on. Your pick for Rodgers' next team. Go. Say the name of the team.
Now I'm confused because we just went.
You got to
through that
make a
whole
prediction.
rant.
That's all. You pick a prediction.
Who's going first?
Just someone say the word.
I can't do it. I don't think I can do it.
Can I? I just want. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna. Here's how I'm gonna
If
stay.
you go first, I'll do it. I'll do it. But it's too tough, man.
He sits out waiting for an opportunity.
I'm going with the Steelers just because Mike Tomlin is a guy that really doesn't have anything to prove in this league. And he has the respect of the entire league. So if I'm putting my money on a bet right now, I'm going with the Steelers because I believe that Aaron Rodgers does. I think you have two guys in Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin that respect each other.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't get signed.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Period.
Jeopardy.
The way-
He's going on Jeopardy next year.
The way
That's your
things
vote?
ended in Green Bay, he was not happy, and he wants to give Green Bay a little FU by going to the Vikings.
I would love it.
So,
I think it'd be hilarious.
telling you right now, he's a vindictive kind of a person. Aaron Rodgers is. He would enjoy actually pissing off all of Green Bay.
Yeah, and for those of you Giants fans out there, he's already had my narrative would be he's already had a taste of New York, and that's left a bad taste in his mouth. And he doesn't
wants to play
give.
with Malik Neighbors.
He does not. No, hell no. He doesn't give a
Neighbors.
shit about New York. He wants no part of the Giants.
No, not at all. All right, guys. We got a couple more things at least we got to get to before we get out of here. So, Tanner, we have some NBA news to go through, I guess.
Yeah. Did you? Speaking of drama and chaos situations, guys, for NBA, I thought an interesting thought. I would like to get your thoughts, Jason and Mike, around this whole Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James drama. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah.
LeBron James
court.
addressed Stephen A. Smith courtside, talking about
Bronny,
the other LeBron James, on courtside. And here's kind of what Stephen A. Smith said around that. Make sure I get it back here.
for being with us. Obviously, Stephen A., an incredible game last night in LA. You were in the building, and we'll get to what that means for the Lakers and Knicks in just a moment. But, S.A., there was a moment in the game that we want to address.
The day after.
That was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son. Can't repeat the words because they ain't suited for FCC airwaves. That's what he was doing. I thought long and hard about this over the last few hours because I had no intentions, Molly, of talking about this at all.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because it was a one-on-one, I wouldn't say a conversation, but it was a one-on-one confrontation. But then I wake up and everybody from ESPN and my agent and everybody else were sending me that this thing had gone viral. And so ultimately it was unavoidable, and that is why I have to discuss it now. That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent. That was a father. And I can't sit here and be angry or feel slighted by LeBron James in any way in that regard. By all accounts, he's obviously a wonderful family man and a wonderful father who cares very, very deeply about his son. And based on some of the comments that he had heard, or shall I say, I think he thought he heard, he clearly took exception to some of the things that he heard me say, and he confronted me about it. For the record, his agent and friend, Rich Paul, has my number. Maverick Carter, who works under him, has my number.
So that's Stephen A. talking about the confrontation, right? And then a couple days ago, LeBron James responded with his words here, and I'll just play the short part of it.
So I'm going to address the Stephen A. Smith situation real quick. I basically told him we can throw down right now in front of everyone. Let's have at it. Me and you, one-on-one in the middle of the court. And of course, that uncle refused. He don't have that R like I do. I'm him. I was about to give him that Draymond Green special and send his hairline back even further. So I'm going to address the Stephen A.
That's the AI version.
I was gonna say
that is
Instead, he elected.
if that is the best AI version I've ever seen.
very nice.
So
Very nice.
I'm going to address the Stephen A. Smith situation real quick.
That wasn't the one I watched. I don't know where it's at.
I
That
don't
was
have,
actually pretty bad. That was pretty bad on the
That
part of
was
LeBron.
I'll let you give you
hilarious.
because I'm gonna have just a quick take, and I'm gonna let
No,
you.
no,
What-
it's-
what's your-
it's-
yeah.
I don't think it was hilarious though. When
What's your
when
take?
you're talking about a guy's hairline, like, don't you have? Do you like? Come on, dude. Like, don't you have a little bit more
That was
respect?
AI, Jason.
It was
That
AI.
That
It was AI. It was AI. I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's
Well, why would you put that shit on there, man? That's not
because
fair.
I heard a different
Because we're the
they
sports buffoons. That's why.
redid it. It wasn't
I
the
just-
exact post I found.
No, I don't have a lot to say about it. I just think that for me personally, seeing that, I thought that, LeBron James, you are a huge figure. I know you have access to Stephen A.'s phone number. If you need to have a conversation with him, you can get in contact with him in many different ways. I think waiting for a game situation where Stephen A. happens to be there to then come up to him and say something was a little unnecessary. Once again, he is a very dramatic person, LeBron James is, and likes to draw attention to himself. I think that he did this as a way because he knew cameras would be on him, of course, like as they always are, and knew it would be a problem. At the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith's job is to be an analyst, and it is to try to call it like he sees it. And I'll give Stephen A. Smith shit all day long about football, because I think he sucks ass with his football knowledge, and he does.
It's pretty bad,
terrible.
actually.
But when it comes to basketball, I don't know. I'm going to let him go ahead and say his stuff. I'm not. It's not for me to judge on that case. But that is his job as an analyst, is to have
Legit his job.
opinions, strong opinions, as
Yes.
a matter of fact. And for LeBron to get butthurt about him coming out here and having something to say about your son, who's not a very good NBA player, and just telling it like it is what it is, man.
Well, he's
Deal with. You brought your son to this team. You knew what you were doing as a father. and everything's going to be shits and giggles. It's not the fucking, a little fairyland where everything's perfect for your ass. To me, LeBron should have handled this in a much more professional way, doing it on the court in a way where he knew cameras would be on him, causing a scene, and essentially, telling Stephen A to go screw himself. You have his goddamn phone number. Have a personal conversation about it.
Stephen A later in the interview even says, like, hey, I would have flew out. I would have flew out, met him in person, whatever you wanted to do, right, to address the
I'm saying a
situation.
phone call.
Yeah, I mean, a phone call is appropriate.
The way LeBron went about it was very unnecessary and very dramatic, like he lives most of his life. So that's my thought.
My initial reaction to that, Tanner, I didn't know you were going to bring that up on the show. So
that's the whole point.
This is a surprise for me.
That's the whole point.
So my initial reaction, and I might be a little bit biased here because as you guys all know that listen to me on this show, you guys know that I am a LeBron James fan. I've always liked the guy. My initial reaction is that I feel sorry for him in this situation. The reason why I feel sorry for him is because his whole life, basically his whole adult life, we've been comparing LeBron James to Michael Jordan. And the difference right now when we're having this conversation is Michael Jordan, during his entire career, the only thing he had to do was go out and play on the court. Now, I'm not saying he didn't have controversies, right?
Yeah.
But the whole media cycle is like night and day right now compared to when Jordan played. And so, everything about these guys' lives. And if something comes out of LeBron James' mouth, or if somebody comes after his son, or if he doesn't like it, it's just like we scrutinize these players. And it's not just right now. This has been happening over the last 10 to 15 years. But if you go back to Michael Jordan's day, he didn't have to deal with that to this extent. And so I feel sorry for LeBron James that he has to deal with this right now because you're talking about his son. Obviously, they wanted to play together in the NBA. It happened. It was a historical moment. And LeBron James is, I don't care what you want to rank him as. You can classify, I know a lot of people want to classify him as top 2. Some people say top 5. Some people say top 10. It doesn't freaking matter. If there's news out there that somebody is coming after Bronny James, who is LeBron James' son, I just feel sorry for LeBron that this has to become a part of his legacy. And maybe it won't. Maybe we'll just all sweep this under the rug and we'll forget about it 2 weeks from now, because that's how the news cycle works in these days.
Right.
And I hope that we do sweep it under the rug, because LeBron James, as an ambassador of the NBA, does not deserve to have to go through this. But again, it's like night and day when you're comparing GOATs. Michael Jordan could just put his head down and perform, and he didn't have to worry about shit back in the 90s and 80s. But now all of a sudden, LeBron James has to not only do his own job, which is perform on the basketball court. Now, all of a sudden, he's got to defend his son. He's got to worry about all of this media hype that has been following him around for 15 to 20 years now. And it's kind of like we talked about earlier in the show with Xavier Worthy. I would not want to be in that guy's shoes, LeBron James, just because it feels like the whole world is against you. And that's what it feels like for him. And, I hope that him and Stephen A. Smith can sort of make amends and get past all of this. But, it makes me sad when I think about how the media can create something out of nothing, which is what they're really good at, by the way. The media, they do it on a daily basis, 24/7. They create something out of nothing, and nobody knows what the real story is, because the only thing the public cares about is the narrative. We don't care about what actually happened. We just care about the different narratives that are out there. And so for me, that's why I feel bad for LeBron James in this situation, because he has to figure out a way to defend his son, and no parent should really have to do that in the media.
All right, so are you just dismissing the way he handled it was okay, and the way he went about it, waiting for it to be on the court? I don't know if it was before or after the game, but either way, it was on the court when this went down. And he's known Stephen A. Smith. First of all, Stephen A. Smith's been in this business before LeBron got into this business. And so what I'm saying is he knows Stephen A. Smith. He's known him for over 20 years now. And so you don't think there's maybe a better way to go about it other than causing a scene the way he did? And especially when, like I said, as an analyst, that's what Stephen A.'s job is to talk about guys who are shitty at what they do on the court. That's what you do. That you have strong opinions to keep your job, essentially. I mean, Ryan Clark came out today and said that there's still a racism problem in the NFL with black quarterbacks. Meanwhile, Cam Ward might go number 1 overall.
Here's the thing, man. I don't know that he has Stephen A.'s phone number. I don't know that he could have done it differently, because the media is just like, we don't know who's got whose phone number.
Stephen A.
You know, like, we can all sit here.
Number.
Yeah,
Stephen A.
That's fine, but we don't know if they're on a texting basis or if they're on a voicemail basis. You know, like I've got hundreds of phone numbers.
They don't got to be friends.
I've got hundreds of phone numbers. That doesn't mean that I'm comfortable with texting somebody or calling somebody up on the phone.
But if you're that upset about someone as an analyst talking about your son and why he's not meant for this league,
well, calm down now. He's a high-end G League player. He's not going to get any better in the G League. So,
I mean, I don't know what he is right now, but
I know you don't.
apparently,
I'm just telling you.
Apparently, he's not meant for the NBA right now.
He's a freaking rookie, man.
Right, but a lot of you guys were also saying to me during the draft that he wouldn't be drafted if he wasn't LeBron James' son.
He went to the G League for like 2 or 3 weeks, or almost for a month, and he was averaging 20
So you're
points.
saying
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you wish that LeBron had done this privately with him rather than in public?
Yeah, I think the way he went about it was very unnecessary.
I'm just trying to put you into that mindset when you're a guy like LeBron James and everybody's been coming out. Everybody's been on your case.
I think at the end of the day,
your whole life.
LeBron doing LeBron things to draw attention to himself.
And that's possible. But do you really trust guys? Do you really trust the media, even if it's Stephen A. Smith, even if you think that you know him well? Do you really trust anybody in the media when the entire media apparatus has been coming after you for the last 15 to 20 years to say, yeah, you know what? You're not that really. You might be that good, but you're not as good as Jordan.
If your name's
do you not think that do you not have that mindset that the whole world is against you, and you might not necessarily trust a guy like Stephen A. Smith? I'm just trying to get into the mindset of these guys, because I honestly, like, on this show, we've thrown shade on LeBron. I don't know how many times. And it's just like, it's almost like if I'm in LeBron James' shoes, I'm just like, man, the whole world is trying to tear me down right now, which they have been for the last 15 years or 20 years. And I'm just like, you know, at some point, if I was in his shoes, I'd just be like, you know, I would be questioning myself in terms of, who do I really trust? You know, do I really trust Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, I mean, you know, I text him every once in a while, but do I really trust him? And so that's something that the three of us, we're never going to experience in our lifetimes. And so that's why I say I feel sorry for LeBron in terms of the situation. But, yeah, could he have handled it differently? Sure. But I'm not in his shoes, and I can't sit here and tell him, oh, yeah, you should have handled that differently, as basically an athlete who's worth $500 million or whatever the hell he's worth. Like, none of us are ever going to experience what he's experiencing right now.
Yeah, for me, I look at LeBron, and I know he's a phony ass, and he has been about multiple things in his career, especially from his own personal life, things he says he's into that he's really not, books he said he's read that he's not actually read. He's well known to be a liar, is what I mean, as a person.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by a phony ass.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I look at a guy like him who enjoys drawing attention to something like that, and maybe he gets his own little ego boost out of some shit like that, coming up to 5'8" Stephen A. Smith and talking down to him like that. I don't know, but at the end of the day, like I said, Stephen A.'s doing his job.
If we're just, and I don't want to do this to him, but if we're just comparing careers in terms of LeBron's choice of career versus Stephen A., I mean, Stephen A. destroyed him. There's no question about that. Stephen A. is probably the GOAT.
He's been doing it a long time.
In terms of the NBA.
He's
I
been in the business a long time now.
You and I don't need to talk about his NFL bullshit.
I don't want to because he's a moron.
But in terms of the NBA, like, he's probably the GOAT analyst. Like, I don't think anyone would question that. So if you compare his career to LeBron's career, I mean, they're probably sort of the same, except for
Stop.
You don't think so?
Stop with this joke.
Who's a better analyst, Tanner?
Stop.
In terms of an NBA history as an
Stop.
analyst, who's
Stop.
better than Stephen A?
Kevin Harlan.
As an analyst?
As an
He's
analyst?
announcer.
You can be an analyst as an
No,
announcer.
I'm talking about an
No,
analyst.
That's not the same thing, Tanner.
Stephen A is a pioneer in terms of NBA analysts.
Stop.
So I can make the case that
We are not comparing guys that sit at a freaking desk and talk on air to guys that go play basketball and own the league.
Why not?
For 20 years.
Why not? I can compare a meter reader, which is something that I used to do.
Can't do this.
If I was the GOAT, if I was the GOAT at reading meters for, let's just say, what's Evergy? Is that the local
Local power.
power company
Yeah,
in town? If I was in charge of reading Evergy meters my entire life,
You're-
and I was the GOAT, could I not be better than LeBron James,
What-
who is the third or
So-
fourth best
so
player
what-
in the NBA history?
Well, what longevity?
Like, what's the
what
difference?
longevity do you put Stephen A. Smith in? Because
Stephen A's been around forever.
most NBA players don't play for 20 years
He's
at
Dude,
the
he's
top
been
of the
around
level.
for like
He
30.
was following
he's been
around
for like 30
Allen
years.
Iverson, dude.
Okay.
When Allen
But
Iverson was putting the moves on
when,
Jordan.
When did he start becoming the guy, though? Like the guy?
long before
LeBron.
LeBron.
Well, yeah, because he's freaking been around.
Stephen A's
long.
been pretty big for like 15 years.
Okay.
15, 20 maybe.
Okay. Oh,
Stephen A came
Well,
onto the
when
scene.
LeBron
No.
started being the guy?
Stephen A came onto the
Pretty quick,
scene.
right?
03.
They-
Pretty-
probably
he got
about the
drafted.
same
Pretty much
time,
right
I
away.
guess.
Yeah. Talking to a guy who's been the guy since
much right.
2003.
I'm not like this debate you're talking about. You brought up. I'm not getting into that part.
This is
I'm
stupid.
not
This
doing
is
that
stupid.
It's not
I'm not
stupid.
doing that part.
It's stupid. That's
'Cause
such a
it's not
horrible
stupid.
relationship.
Let me
Honestly,
tell you
it's
why it's
related.
not
It's
stupid.
just too off
because-
topic for me. It's
Do you
too
want to
off
know?
topic.
Do you want to know why it's not stupid? Because they both have egos in terms of their profession, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'd rather listen to Charles Barkley make fun of Shaq and Shaq make fun of Charles Barkley
They do that.
and Ernie in the middle and that crew than listen to Stephen A. Smith for 8 hours.
I would tell you this. I agree with Mike. I think that LeBron could have handled it
could've.
differently.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not going to use this as something to be like, oh my goodness, that tarnishes his legacy. And
I'm not saying
No.
that.
No one's saying anything about his legacy. I'm
Just
just
his
saying
image.
it shows who LeBron
image.
is. Like, once again, like nothing, no surprise, but it's just what it is.
What was worse? That's what I want to know. What was worse?
What?
The Will Smith, Chris Rock situation or the Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James?
Will Smith and Chris Rock, because Will Smith was a total beta cuck in that situation.
yeah,
That was
absolutely.
worse. That was definitely worse. And that was on it. That was on in the middle of a national stage versus like what was it before or after the
It
game?
was after
the game.
Yeah.
There's no
Uh,
question. Let me tell you
yeah.
why. Let me tell you why that one was worse. Is because to this day, I still don't believe that was real. I feel like that was staged. And if it wasn't staged, that was an embarrassment
I don't feel like
to
it was
that entire to all of Hollywood. Honestly,
We don't see Chris Rock
Well-
reacting like the way he did. I don't think
That
was staged.
No,
entire-
everyone. If you ask anyone in Hollywood, all of them said it was real. Like
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
off script.
that was real.
This thing
that's
happened.
that's an embarrassment to that entire industry if it was not rigged. And so that was
me-
I'm embarrassed.
The Will
even
Smith
thinking
thing,
about it right now.
I used to be a big Will Smith fan. Like I thought he was hilarious. He was great in a lot of movies. And like after that went down, like I lost a lot of respect just because of the way he handled himself as such a emotional
He got whipped.
bitch.
He
in
got
that
whipped,
situation.
man.
Especially knowing that your wife has been fucking other guys.
that's one
and yet you're
thing.
gonna go up there and stand up for in that situation.
Keep my wife's name.
And when you're whipped,
Like,
that's
motherfucking
one thing
mouth.
that
Don't talk about my cock chair like that.
that's one thing that I can compare to a normal human being. You know, I don't care if you're in Hollywood or if you're just Joe Schmo out here on the street. If you're whipped, that's a problem. And he was whipped. And I don't look at him any differently.
And whipped by a what? Who gives a shit about Jada Pinkett Smith? Who gives a shit? As if she's something. Like,
well,
seriously.
the media puffed her up to think that she was something huge,
somehow
big. She was a big deal.
Somehow she had some spell over Will. That's what I mean. Will just showed what a little bitch he is in that situation.
And it's sad.
It made me sad because I was like, man, I fucking loved Will Smith. He was cool, but apparently not.
Yeah, don't compare that to what LeBron's doing right now.
If
that's
if LeBron had slapped Stephen A. Smith, maybe that's a different story.
Hey, now we're onto something.
I'm just saying, maybe that's a different story. Like, maybe then we can debate this, but it's to me, it's
no debate, man.
Keep my son's name out of your motherfucking mouth. Imagine LeBron doing that. That'd be wild if that happened. But no, that's the only way it'd be comparable at all. Which even then, Will Smith's still for sure worse.
Yeah,
You're standing up for your son versus your nasty whore wife. What I mean? Like, at that point, Will Smith's situation's worse.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Will Smith to this day. What do we got going?
Throw down right now in front of everyone. Let's have at it.
That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted.
Is that AI
That's
still?
the AI.
That hard like I do. I'm him. I was about to give him that Draymond Green special and send his hairline back even further. So I'm going to address the Stephen A. Smith situation real quick.
Yeah, we don't need to watch all that, Tanner.
And see that, but that's the type of thing that makes it worse. We were talking about the media being worse during right now versus when Jordan was playing. Now all of a sudden you've got AI, so now it's just going exponential. Where you're sitting in his shoes, you're just like, okay, the whole freaking world hates me.
Everything's fake.
And I don't envy that at all, man.
Everything's fake.
I'm happy he's a half a billionaire. I am happy for him and Floyd Mayweather. They've got Floyd Mayweather is a billionaire at this point. Yep. But lucky for Floyd, the world doesn't hate him the way that they hate LeBron James. A lot of people
do, but
I don't know about that. Not compared to LeBron, because Floyd's retired. Floyd's retired with $1 billion. Nobody gives a shit.
Some of the allegations with Floyd is what makes people dislike him.
Yeah, there was like one allegation, I guess, but
there's people out there who have their thoughts on him being a piece of crap is all.
He's worth $1 billion, and
that's good for him, man. And he can fake fights.
Yeah.
Have some little fake ass fights. Put some little tutus on and go out there and play patty cake and call it a day.
He actually, did you guys see this? He actually came out and said, speaking of GOATs, we're talking about Floyd and LeBron, although LeBron's probably not a GOAT, but he might be in some people's eyes. You guys hear that Floyd came out the other day and actually said that Trump is the best president in the history of our country. Did you guys hear about that?
Do we want a guy
I didn't hear about that, but there's still some things that remain to be seen. I don't think it's fair to call Trump the best president in our history when there's a long ways to go still.
I was just shocked.
Talking about a guy that's had his brains beat in, he beats other brains in, he doesn't graduate, doesn't know how to read. Like, are we really wanting to trust
okay, well, that's
a low education kind of style successful guy like that?
By all accounts, he was untouched. Like, nobody ever touched him.
To be your devil's advocate.
So now you're going with CTE? You think it's CTE?
No, I'm just saying. Do we want to look at that opinion? Like, come on.
He's also been in office for a little over 4 years now. I think we can hold off on the idea of him being the best ever, for sure. We had some good ones way back in the day.
We did. We had a lot of good ones.
So, yeah. Well, we can hold off on some of those opinions of his, I guess.
I mean, I think Biden was top 15. What do you guys think about that?
All right. Can we keep moving? Can we keep moving, please?
Can we keep him in the top 15? I think Biden was pretty good.
Hold on. We're good.
Not the GOAT, but he was pretty good. I'm just throwing it out there, man.
Was that your only NBA topic? We can move on?
Yeah, that's all I want.
Okay, we can move on.
About.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess one thing left, right?
Yeah.
So a little college b-ball.
Well, I don't want to have much to talk about right now.
Okay.
We're getting ready for Selection Sunday.
So we have the show today. We won't be on again for another 2 weeks.
But I don't know seeding. Like, we're talking seeding.
So when does March Madness begin? What's the day?
Next Thursday.
So next
Wednesday.
So a week from today.
Yeah.
It'll begin. The tournament begins and everything. Yep. We'll be down to our final 32 within that same week.
Yeah. Correct.
So by the time we have a show next,
will be our
We'll be Sweet 16 by the time we have a show again.
and it'll be good to talk about. See who's there, upsets happen, and all that.
But
So.
what are your thoughts so far? I mean, anything standing out for you? I mean, I've been watching, trying to follow along with a lot of college games. I was betting for a while, decided to take a break. Just gonna focus on Baccarat.
I mean, waiting to see if some teams can pull through and get some more wins and sneak in. There's a lot of teams on that bubble right now. SEC, obviously the best division in basketball, but won't be a number one overall because Duke has that.
That's fine
in the end, right? But that conference alone will probably have the most teams in the tournament. If Texas can get 2 more wins, they don't necessarily have to win it, but 2 more wins. I mean, they're in. Oklahoma, plays
Alabama
Georgia
strong
this afternoon.
Of course.
Yeah, Alabama will be fine. So I mean, SEC could walk away with 8-9 teams in the tournament.
Oh, I believe that.
So
And Mizzou finally looks like they might be decent.
Mizzou. So if Mizzou doesn't blow their game, they blew. Didn't they blow? No, they haven't played yet.
No.
So they would, if they lose, they drop down closer to a 10. If they win today or tomorrow, they will stick around the 6th seed. So they're they're on a 5-game skid right now. They haven't looked the best as of recent, but at the same time they played some tough teams. So I don't know, man.
We got the Big 12 tournament going on right now, so if you're around Kansas City, this is not a good time to go downtown unless you're going to the game.
Avoid downtown.
Just avoid it.
And then if Saturday, avoid Bally's if you go to Bally's.
Saturday?
Current plays.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday
I
morning,
hate it.
11:45.
I've been to Bally's during a current
Yeah,
game.
you told me
and
about
got
it.
stuck out there.
Well, how about I don't know if it's opening weekend, but early in the season weekend. So
I
and they're
don't know.
doing a Spirit Week or something like that.
Jeez.
So it's going to be busy as hell.
I was thinking about going to Bally's this weekend, too.
Yeah,
I'll be over there, actually, the rest of
if
this week.
if you go, well, by the time you get up on a Saturday, they're going to be done by the time you
Well,
get there.
I was thinking about going over at noon.
Oh yeah,
But
don't
Worthy,
go, dude.
Xavier Worthy might be over there. You got to find him.
Good luck finding parking.
Well, Worthy might be in Texas still, unless he wants to get away
That's
from
true.
that old bitch. So,
The match starts at 11:45 a.m.
oh,
On
that's when the
Saturday.
game. Oh,
Yeah.
so no matter what, if I go over there, I have to be out of there by
What is it?
3,
Like 3 hours.
at least 2-hour game at least. So I got to be out of there by 3 if I go over there.
Yeah,
If I wait till after 3, I'm screwed.
you're done.
I kind of want to go over there. I haven't decided.
Hey.
I don't know.
Best of luck on it. So I did want to bring up though, guys, before we get out of here. Yesterday on the show I was on, we were talking AL World Series best bets, right? And Yankees dropped from 1 to 5 in the AL side, okay, and that was due to some injuries. With Stanton unknown, Garrett Cole, their star pitcher, he's out with Tommy Johns. So I was asking Alan Perales, and I was like, "Hey, man, who's favorite now? Who's favorite now for a World Series appearance?" He gave me 2 teams that are top now of the AL, the Rangers and the Royals.
Really?
But now I think that's about to drop out because Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh,
struck by a 96-mile-per-hour fastball in the left forearm.
X-rays came back negative.
It's negative, but there's no timetable for his return yet, but he's avoiding a long absence. So it's very possible he misses the start of the season.
Okay, but that's the thing.
Well,
man.
let him
We
miss
don't-
the whole
it's
month.
the
I don't
beginning
care
of
if he
the
misses
year.
April.
I'm just stating.
We care about October. We care about September. You
Well,
know.
you got to get there first.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying
You got to
is,
win games first, and you want to
I
have
know,
a hot
I know,
start.
I know. You do. But we've had hot starts before that didn't go.
You don't have to win games in April.
You want to win
That's-
games in April.
Nah,
For
yeah.
us,
It's-
yes.
Not if you're concerned about Witt's
Look,
health and you're just trying to bring it back.
They're not
slowly.
going to go 0-10 to begin April, Tanner. That's not the case. If Bobby Witt's out, yeah, it makes an impact, but it doesn't mean we're going to lose all these games.
I don't know.
The Royals still have pretty good pitching right now, right?
supposedly
Looks decent
Supposedly.
on paper, at least.
on paper, supposedly.
And Michael Lorenzen's talked about
yeah.
wanting to go further in innings this time
Yep.
around. You know, he's tired of the 5-inning nonsense. He wants to go 7. You know, in all these games, and I think that's big because.
He's not getting that early. You're not getting.
Well,
that
no,
early.
not early on, but I mean that's his goal is to be a long starter.
Maybe May. You start seeing that May, June.
All I'm saying is if he's injured for 2 weeks, Say he's missed the first 2 weeks of the season.
That's fine.
Let's pretend for a minute.
That's fine.
He'll be okay.
You go 2 in.
All we know,
14.
hey, X-rays were negative. He's got a little contusion. He'll be
Yeah.
all right.
I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying to win the World Series, dude. I'm just trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah, me too.
Playoffs?
Right.
too.
Make the playoffs, but then by the time you make the playoffs, if we have a healthy Bobby Witt
Yes.
and a healthy Jack Caglione, I mean, you can make things happen, right?
Sarah, when we meet up again, what's the date?
If you get, by the way, speaking of that, I haven't asked you yet, so we need to get some new rookie cards pretty soon here for Mr. Jack Caglione.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks.
I'm ready to buy some. As
All
fact,
fired up, man.
matter of fact, those two actually collectors themselves, Bobby Witt and Jack.
Really?
They're collectors themselves. They're big in collecting cards.
Well,
Oh,
that's cool.
hey. What is it? Next time we meet up, 17th. What would be
Yeah.
the date for us?
2 weeks. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
2 weeks
on.
from today.
Let's get on
2 weeks
eBay.
from today.
Let's get on eBay and load
You
up, man.
Get ready to get some Jack Caglione rookie cards because I'm ready to load up on him, man. It's
Yeah.
have you been paying attention to him at all?
Well, I don't think his rookie card is actually
Oh, it'll be-
out yet
it'll be
because
perfect, guys.
you got to wait until he actually plays his first game. That's the way
He-
MLB works.
He does have a card out that was
It's
already
okay.
purchased by someone else for $60,000.
But the official rookie cards are not out yet.
The tops or whatever.
Yeah.
Those aren't out yet, no. But I'm just telling you, they're on the way. They're like it's about to happen soon. So
I'll
just
fire
say,
it up, man.
Let's get ready.
I'll be buying it.
Let's get ready for it.
Yep.
'Cause we all got Bobby Witt rookie cards.
When do you think he gets called up?
Let's see. If he is on the pace he's on currently.
2026.
Now, if he's on the pace he's on currently right now in spring training, if you can translate that to AAA, be batting 400, it'll be June. This June.
I called May last time.
I'm cool with May.
About it.
I'm cool with that.
You can
The
get.
problem I have, or the question I have, not the problem. The question I have, he's got cards.
Yeah, they're not. Those are not official rookies.
No, but
because he
people are
hasn't-
paying high price for some
Yeah,
of those
that's
cards
fine.
right
Don't buy any of those cards, guys, because the only things that are going to
now.
be
He's trying to buy them. Jack
the
Caglione.
only thing that's going to be worth something are the one of ones. If you're going for pre-rookie cards, if you're going for actual rookie cards, you got to wait until he plays an actual game.
Did you know the story? Someone outbid him for his own card already. Someone
That's
outbid
fine.
him for his own card. He was trying to get his own card, and someone else outbid him for
That's
his own name
amazing.
card on eBay.
That's fine. I mean,
Which
I'm
is
just, I'm
hilarious.
just saying, like, wait for the rookies, the legitimate rookie to come out in June or May, or whenever the hell you guys think he's going to play his first game. I don't care if you want autographs, rookie cards, refractors,
we
whatever
all-
the hell you want.
We all should load up on him.
Oh, we are. I'm going to load up, but you got to have a little bit of patience there because it's going to be a few months.
So when we meet up next, we'll give our takes and predictions for the first month. Because they play on Thursday the next day. So
Next day.
yep, opening day. The
Cool.
next Thursday or 2 weeks from Thursday.
And who's going to be the starting pitcher for that opening day?
I think it's Waka.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, Walker. I mean, I could see it. Yeah, Walker makes sense, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll probably go with that.
That's who I got. So we got the Guardians first, and then we go up to Milwaukee. So
Yeah, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, as of the way it looks, he's coming up this year. The question I have, is where do you put him? What do you do with him and Vinny? Because he's a first baseman, as he should be a first baseman. He is a true first baseman. Really, he doesn't have any other position he should be playing.
Yeah, you throw Vinny in DH or the outfield.
But Salvador
You got
is your,
outfield or DH.
Right field.
Wanna-
but he hasn't played right field yet.
Vinny?
No, Jack.
No, Jack can play.
You're gonna play Vinny at right field?
You can play either one.
You can throw one of them in
It's freaking
right field.
man.
So somebody's going
Hey,
to right field.
I will say this: we've had a lot of shitty right fielders in our time as Royals fans.
Yeah.
Like it can't be that bad.
No.
But-
no. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I ain't worried
It's
about
not like
that.
Vinny's
What
fast. or anything.
about Juan Gonzalez? Did he play right or was he a DH? I can't
he was
remember.
right
He was a right fielder.
Oof.
Yeah, we've had a lot of terrible
He
right
was-
fielders.
Why did
Hey,
we
you
bring
remember
him in?
Frenchie?
The Frenchy corner? Yeah.
I'm
I
still
thought-
pissed
I
off
thought
that we
he
brought
was
in.
left field for some.
I'm going to show my age, but I'm still pissed off that we brought in Juan Gon when he was washed as shit.
The last
man.
great right
I
fielder
was
we had
pissed.
was Jermaine Dye.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was the
a
last
stud.
great right fielder.
From a fielding standpoint, yeah.
Well, that was a good batter.
Fielding and hitting.
Matt Stairs, man.
Ooh.
That was
as a hitter,
That was a hitter, man.
oh, he was just a power hitter, but like he was not catching shit in the outfield.
He didn't need to. We just brought him in to freaking hit
I'm just
bombs,
saying.
dude.
Did he even play? He was a DH most of the time.
Matt
He
Stairs,
still played right
dude.
field when he had to.
How'd they try his
Did
ass
we
out
have him
there?
for 1 year or 2 years?
No, we had him for like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was a couple.
So he was around for a little bit there.
Mm.
That was a fun one to have.
Mm.
Yeah, we've had a lot of turds.
What about,
we've had a lot of turds out there.
What about Chili Davis? Did he play out there
He
too?
was center fielder. Well,
Center
he
field.
might have played
No.
right, but
He had, dude, he was washed too. The Royals are just like the Chiefs in a lot of ways. They used to bring in these old washed players that they thought could still maybe have something left in the tank, and then really never happened.
Jose Guillen, David DeJesus, Mark Tehan.
so DeJesus was also a center fielder though,
Correct.
primarily.
Beltran played right field for a little bit too.
But also Beltran was a center fielder,
Yeah.
primarily.
Reggie Sanders played right field. So
What about Steve DeBerg? He was pretty washed when the Chiefs brought him in. Last time I checked, he was pretty washed.
Well, who was the right fielder we had not that long ago that ended up hitting 48 home runs or whatever it was with a different team?
Oh, you're talking about the Nelson Cruz?
Not Nelson Cruz.
No,
No,
not Nelson Cruz, but
we had him just a few years ago. He ended up hitting 48 home runs like the year after we let him go. But he was already an older player, but he was not good for us. This was like maybe 6 years ago or 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Something
So
like
we're going
that.
back a ways.
A little bit.
you're talking 48 home runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Batista?
Not Jose Batista. That was way early 2000s. Even then, we
Was it a
screwed
Blue
up.
Jays? Was it a Blue Jays guy?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the Blue. He was a former Blue Jays player.
I know who he's
Came
talking
to the
about.
Royals.
Yeah, I know who
Was
you're
kind of
talking
lazy
about.
or whatever,
Yeah.
but like
I know exactly
It was not
who
that
you're
long
talking
ago.
about.
It was literally just a handful of years ago.
But he had
Can't remember his
he
name.
had a decent year for us, but it just
Yeah, it was
wasn't
okay,
like he
but,
didn't
like-
explode like he did.
Oh,
after that.
Soler. Jorge Soler.
Yeah.
Jorge Soler. So the year after he left KC, I think he ended up hitting like
He
48.
exploded.
Like the year after or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, he did.
But like here as a Royal, he was kind of shitty. Like that's what I remember about him. But like every time you get a right fielder, they're just not up to par.
No, yeah.
I don't know. I just think Tanner, like you're making it seem too easy to just throw Vinny out there to right field.
You can throw Vinny out there, dude.
Just say screw off Vinny. Go to
No,
right field.
it doesn't have to be Vinny. It could be anybody.
But you know how
Throw anybody
demoralizing
out
that would be if you got this Jack Caglione and we're like, hey, this guy's the next best thing and he's better than you. We're just gonna put him at first base, your position,
You can
and you can get out
rotate
there
him,
to
man.
right field.
You can
Nah,
make it
I
work,
don't
dude.
know. I just feel like there's something a little wrong about that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, but I don't know. Vinny seems like a good KC guy. I hope I don't want to piss him off. I like having him around. I don't want him to go anywhere.
He's what did he do? He started talking about being a breaking news guy the other day on Twitter. He's good stuff.
I think Vinny would actually like playing out in right field. He's a big fantasy guy. He likes fantasy baseball.
The problem is you can't do DH. Salvy's your DH like every damn game.
Second time for everything, man.
I mean,
second time
yeah,
for
between
everything.
him and Freddie Freeman and everything like that. I mean, yeah, oh yeah, because we got Jonathan India too, right? We still got to put him somewhere.
Screw him.
You could take Joey Weaver.
Throw him out in right field. Fuck
Hunter
him.
Renfro's still there. MJ
Renfro.
Melendez.
Yeah, Renfro's your right fielder.
Jesus. I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
Well, that's why I said it's my question
think
because
you-
it's
I
a big
think-
question.
I think you got to bring it up. I think you got to bring them up in May, though.
All right, are we ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of here.
No, I'm not ready to get out of
I'm
here
ready
because
to get
I
out of here,
don't
dude.
understand why you won't put Joe Biden in your top 15 all
Jesus
time.
Christ.
Dude, he had to deal with COVID. Do you not understand?
Starsky says relationship advice from legendary JG.
Oh, my
He also
goodness.
said this is one of my favorite buffoon episodes.
Oh, it's been a mess.
Robert, what's up, buddy? Appreciate
Starsky
you.
You're just
Like-
now looking at the comments?
Yeah.
Starsky.
Well, I've
Okay.
had him on.
Oh, what the hell did
That's
we miss?
new.
You didn't tell us that. You can't see it on the screen over there.
There's 3
No.
comments.
So only you get to look
Calm
at the
down.
screen.
Go ahead and look
Yeah,
at the
but
comments
I like
because
to look at the shit.
I already did.
go ahead and look at it now
damn it.
because Starsky understands me on the fact that he knows that Joe Biden still had to deal with COVID.
All right.
So you're going to throw him
Are
in the
we,
top 15 all-time
we're
presidents.
back in 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. We'll talk some March Madness, Sweet 16,
Yeah.
Elite 8, getting ready towards that Final Four
And
spot.
then some Royals.
We'll talk a little bit. I'm sure some NBA stuff will come up here as we get closer towards April, final month of the season. And
Can we bring back the easy money bet of the week next week, or do we have to wait a month for that?
I don't know.
I mean, Tanner bets his ass off every day. I'm not
I
betting.
do.
I'm telling you
you're
guys right
done.
now listening, I'm not betting on sports for 2 months. at
Oh, yeah,
least.
he switched back to the casino
Only
games,
in
which is
Baccarat.
That's a guarantee.
All the money's in Baccarat. So that's all I can tell you.
Guaranteed sport, my friends. Guaranteed sport.
That's all I can tell you.
The highest paid, your brother just sent me a text
No, he didn't.
with a link saying highest paid NFL players, most guaranteed money at every position. Who's the highest paid quarterback?
Right now?
Yeah.
Shit.
Right now?
Sam
Yeah.
Darnold or some shit? I don't know, but
Oh, Kirk Cousins?
Nope.
it's not Cousins.
Highest
Did
paid?
we just have a contract go out recently? Not Josh. It's Josh
Oh,
Allen,
it's
right?
Purdy.
recent.
It's Brock Purdy.
No, it's Josh Allen, right?
No.
Purdy.
He's got an extension.
Deshaun Watson.
He's
No.
got an extension.
No.
Deshaun Watson, dude.
This was, make sure to check the date, March 11th. So, yeah. So, this is after the extension.
Okay.
Based on what they accomplish on the field, Deshaun Watson by far.
Highest 3-year APY.
It's not-
He signed it in 2024.
So it just happened last year.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, Lamar. I mean, but the way these contracts work, it's like just basically who's next in line to get paid is all it comes down to.
Ofer, you guys are zero.
This is on a 1 year basis. Like, who's highest paid for this year
Yeah.
or this one?
Oh,
year?
for 1 year.
For this
Okay.
1 year,
Well, it says highest 3-year APY. So
3 year. Okay,
3 years.
so average over the next
Yeah.
3
I
years.
would have gone Deshaun Watson all the way because he had the biggest long-term contract.
Josh Allen's number 6 in this list. Joe Burrow's number 2. Deshaun's not on the top 6.
Well, that's because
Oh.
his all was guaranteed up front.
Whoever it is, they're white. That's all I know.
That is false as well.
You think it's a
Oh,
white quarterback?
I thought
This
this
is
league
fa-
was
hey,
racist
hey, Ryan
according to
Clark.
Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark now.
Ryan Clark said they're
Uh,
racist.
All right, you guys lose that one. Dak Prescott, 61.6.
Damn.
Okay.
I
Well,
wasn't
that's
going to say
fine.
Dak, so that's why.
We all know the running back situation, so we're not worried about that. We know the wide receiver situation. Tight end?
like highest paid right now.
Yeah.
Well, Kelsey's going to get 19 this year.
Kelsey's the top one.
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates. Let's see here.
Aaron Hernandez.
Let's see here. Creed's the highest center. Do you guys know who the highest cornerback is?
Does Surtain get a new contract yet?
Not yet.
Let's see who else would be. There's a couple just got signed recently.
Mhm.
One of them just got signed.
Yep.
Not C.J. Gardner or whatever.
No.
No, he got traded
He
actually.
got traded.
Is it Deion Sanders?
I had Spot Track up before to start the show, Tanner. I should have left it up, I guess. I could have had a cheat code. It told me all the
Any
information
idea?
I need.
Darrell Revis, for sure.
He plays with Tershon now.
Oh, the Panthers.
Ooh.
Oh, Horn.
Yep. Horn, 25.
Horn just
20,
got
25
25
mil,
Yeah.
3-year APY, but he has 100 mil guaranteed.
Joe Horn's son.
How about safety?
Shit, man. What kind of trivia is this, Tanner?
I'm trying to test to see if you guys know your contracts.
Well, dude, I haven't gone down to the dollar on all these. I just want to see where
He
guys are going.
signed last May.
So last year. Safety.
That's a tough
Safe-
one right
Safeties
there.
are hard to
Yeah,
figure
they are.
out.
Antoine Winfield Jr.
Okay.
Uh,
Because that was just an extension.
yeah, edge rusher.
Test him again, man. He's
Shit,
smart.
man.
He's smart. He
Edge
can
rusher.
handle it.
Give me. It's two different players. Give me the 3-year.
I like to
APY.
evaluate players.
in
I
the
don't know their
total
money
guaranteed
situation. What?
Who has the most guaranteed money for an edge rusher?
Right now, I mean, shit.
Signed it 2 years ago.
Freaking Dallas over. I don't know,
No.
man.
What do you mean?
I don't
Dallas?
remember. I don't remember all the damn contracts.
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Dude, I like to evaluate players. I don't like to like whatever they're getting paid is what they're getting paid. It's not my money, so like I don't worry about it. I mean, of course we care about when it comes to the salary cap, but I don't pay that much attention to the
Son of a bitch.
They're still going to hire you at some point as an NFL scout. Like you're going to be hired,
right? But like I never.
But
if they want to make me a GM,
like they're not paying you right now, so forget those guys.
If I had to be a GM, of course I'd care about that shit. But I can't sit there and tell you everyone's pay what they make.
All right, guys, catch us up in 2 weeks here. We'll be back at it. Like I said, March Madness, Royals preview, and whatever else the hell's happening by then. So we're out.
Sounds good. Our friend just said he put his entire bankroll on Kansas money line. Oh, and they are down.
They are down.
Oh boy,
that is. I don't know why you would do such a thing.
His bankroll, from what I understand, means over $1,000. I've seen him bet on other things, and this is over $1,000 for sure.
I would have put it all on red. I
did not place a bet on this game.
We're going to be playing some roulette, boys, over the next couple of months. So
yeah, once we get to May,
it's probably a better bet.
All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all on the next one. In 2 weeks, we'll be back.
Outro. See you guys.